Hello everyone, this is Bill. In this video, I'm going to share how I spent 4 days in Sapa, from riding the night train from Hanoi to Fansipan to Katkat village to the Rong May Glass Bridge and finally heading back to Hanoi. In this video, I would also include the prices of the activities that I did and the expenses all throughout my stay. So if you think this will help you, maybe this video is for you. So let's start with day 1. Day 1 night train and my first day. I took the night train from Hanoi to Lao Cai. Although it's quite more expensive than the bus, the advantage is you don't arrive at 4 a.m. so exhausted. If you manage to sleep well in the train, you arrive when it's already morning, you will feel very well rested. I booked it in Klook and it's around 1,200 pesos. I'll put the link below. And it's advisable to book in advance because it sells out very easily. Then you need to take a bus from Lao Cai station to Sapa city center. It's just less than an hour, 55,000 VND that time. And no need to book in advance. You can book it in the station. When I arrived in Sapa, I went to my hostel. I couldn't check in yet, but they allowed me to leave my bags. It's also a very thoughtful hostel because they had a bed outside the dormitories. So maybe you can sleep while waiting for your check-in time outside if you don't want to start your day yet. I didn't ask, but it really looked that way. The hostel was cozy, clean, and very near the center. Very affordable too. That's why I booked it. Yeah, at around 250 pesos per night at that time. Okay, fine, I'm not gonna gatekeep it. I'll put the link down below. I spent the day just chilling and walking around the center. I ate a lot of banh mi, tried their local coffees, because literally every corner has a very aesthetic vibe cafe. And did some window shopping for winter clothes because they're very tempting. I almost bought something, but I convinced myself successfully that what I already have was enough. You really only need one. At night, I just chilled again and was very lucky because it wasn't foggy at all. It was a calm first day.
Communities in the northwestern highlands. We invite you to take part in this unique experience and create unforgettable memories on your journey to conquer the Jinjianzi Kiwi.
Day 2, Fansipan. I didn't sleep very well because my roommates were snoring very loudly. The hostel is nice, but I just wish snorers would rent a private room sometimes. Anyway, day 2 was Fansipan. I booked my ticket in advance on trip.com, the all-in package, funicular round trip, cable car round trip, and a tram one way. It was 1.22 million VND or around 2,800 pesos. It's quite pricey, yes, but that's 5 rides in one. It was worth every second. Trust me. Before arriving at the cable car, there were cultural performances and activities. Sometimes you can participate and it's actually very fun. I already joined dance and the activity, it was really fun. There's also a garden outside the cable car station where you can take so many beautiful photos. Everywhere you look is Instagram worthy. Then the cable car. It's the largest cable car I've ever tried. The ride going up is short and sweet, but the panoramic view is beyond majestic. I honestly wish there were more mountains than clouds that day, but even with the clouds, it was still so memorable. Then we arrived at the summit entrance. You can walk around the area, enjoy it slowly, and really take your time before going to the top. Then, after many steps, you will arrive at the tram station and it will take you to the summit. It's a lot of walking and breathing, so you really need to prepare for that. When I reached the summit, it was very cloudy, foggy, cold, and windy. Maybe not my lucky day, but I still enjoyed every breath because I was standing on top of Indochina. There were a lot of foreigners and locals enjoying the view together, people taking pictures like crazy, me included. Everything is just a lot to take in, but I was there. Wind was in my hair. Everything will be remembered all too well. Meanwhile, I was just waiting for someone who might take my photo. Solo traveler, introvert, shy type, claustrophobic. Just kidding. Eventually, I found someone kind enough and got the shot. 3 shots. I didn't look great, to be honest. Cringe. Eek. I spent around 2 to 3 hours at the top, and every second will be cherished like cherry on top. I was a little hungry at the top. There were restaurants up there and the prices were reasonable, but I chose not to eat there because I thought I could find something better in the city center. Actually, I didn't know a specific place, but while riding the cable car down, I saw restaurants with a view of the mountains and the tram passing by. So I followed that and ended up at White Cloud. Turns out it's quite famous in social media. It's a bit pricier than the restaurants in the city center, but it makes sense because the view is everything. At night, I decided to walk farther from the center to the lake. It was fine at first, then suddenly everything turned white. Fog everywhere. It felt like a U-turn into another dimension. All I could see were diffused lights and opaque air. I felt a bit panicked for a moment, but then it made sense why all the store signs are in bold yellow and very bright. They're gonna be your lighthouse in the night guiding you home. Because Sapa is indeed the city in the fog. I calmed myself down, just followed the lights along the road. I still can't believe how drivers and riders manage to navigate in that kind of fog. It's almost like they're pilots in the land. I had dinner on the side of the street, watching people from all walks of life. I felt mindful and grateful. I was so present at that moment. A little excited for the next day, but mostly present. Day 3, Katkat and Rong May Glass Bridge. Day 3 was so random. I didn't have a solid plan. I was thinking about going to Katkat village. It was Sunday, so I wasn't sure if it was open. I couldn't book anything online that morning, but you can also book online in advance, so I'll provide the link below. I also had Moana in mind, but honestly, I didn't even know what that was. I only knew the movie and didn't really connect the dots. There was also the glass bridge, which was more interesting to me but quite pricey. I woke up early and decided to just walk to the Katkat village and see what's in store for me that day. It was foggy and misty, the road looked wet even though it wasn't raining. It was a bit risky to walk because you can't clearly see vehicles coming from the curves along the cliff. But in my mind, I was going to see cats. Yes, I didn't research at all. There were no cats. At first, it felt underwhelming, just a bunch of souvenir shops and Instagram spots with off-white foggy backgrounds. But if you walk deeper and follow the map all the way through, you'll find waterfalls, traditional houses, and jungle scenery. That's when it becomes majestic. That's when you pay for what you deserve and more. By the way, the entrance fee was 50,000 BND or around 120 pesos. I bought the ticket there, but you can also book it in advance. Don't worry, I'll link it below. You can also rent traditional costumes and walk around as the main character inside the village. I have watched videos of people regretting renting outside because hassle. It's not my thing, but it's fun. Just rent inside. It's fun if you're into that. I met another solo traveler there. I asked him to take my photos and videos and I offered to take his too. It became more than just exchanging photos. We're now social media buddies. We even met again in his country the next week and he treated me dinner. So very kind, that guy. So when you're traveling alone, don't be too introverted. Ask someone. Fabricate organic encounters. Act clueless. You might gain a friend, a photographer, a lover, or at least a good memory. After that, I convinced him to go to Rong May Glass Bridge with me. He has a fear of heights, but when in Vietnam, maybe fear is just another term for excitement. But he also tried the giant rainbow slide. I didn't, so he could handle a little height. It's just 2 kilometers above, okay? It was very cold and I was only wearing a thin jacket. By the way, it's far from the city center, maybe 50 minutes away, so it's more convenient for you to ride Grab. I was shaking, not sure if it was from the cold or fear of heights. Probably both. I even thought about buying more layers before going up, but I didn't because it was pricey and I knew I'd only be in Hanoi the next day. The entrance fee was 500,000 BND or around 1,000 pesos. I'll leave the link below if you want to book in advance. The elevator ride going up was long and dramatic. It felt so climactic, like the breath before a kiss. Everyone looked so stressed. When we arrived, we didn't immediately go to the glass bridge. It was almost like we were saving the best for last, or we were just afraid of our life's choices. The bridge is around 600 meters long and more than 2,200 meters above sea level. Don't tell my parents. I told them Vietnam was just about cheap foods and nice people. Yay. When the fog cleared and the sun came out, everyone got excited and started filming again. Then we reached the end of the glass road. It went dark, like someone flipped a switch. We hurried back down because we were so worried about not getting a ride. Luckily, we got one. The ride back to the center was long, winding, foggy. You can imagine the rest. I ended the day with a great meal and a massage. And when you're in Sapa, there's a lot of massage places almost everywhere. Important tip though, show hesitation when they tell you the price. They will lower it and lower it again. You'll sleep happy, but not the way you imagine. Day 4, last day and bus back. On the last day, there wasn't much planned. I thought about buying souvenirs but ended up just window shopping. I was going back to Hanoi and then to Ho Chi Minh, so I didn't want that extra weight. Also, I noticed that souvenirs were cheaper in Katkat village than in the center, so maybe just buy your gifts there. You can also practice your haggling skills, but really, it's their livelihood, so don't go so low. I spent my last hours in a cafe, browsing my videos and watching everything begin again. That night, I took the night bus back to Hanoi. By the way, I took the bus because there's no night train going back to Hanoi, or I just didn't find anything cheaper. Also, it's a good thing because I would find out that night buses weren't such a bad idea. It's comfortable, it's cheaper, and you don't worry about toilet emergencies because they stop maybe twice at bus stations. I booked it on Klook for less than 400 pesos, and you can book it in advance too. I'll link below. Just make sure to wake up before the stop or not after. The ride was around 6 hours. Arrived in Hanoi at 4 a.m. so cold, and booked a motorbike. Freezing, going to my friend's house. I didn't know why I did that. It's cheaper. Yeah, I know that. Other reminders while you're in Sapa. By the way, you can still use Grab car and Grab motorbike in Sapa, so no need to worry about the transportation. There's a lot of cheap foods and drinks and clothes to shop. Always compare and compare and compare. There'll be a lot of locals asking you for their products or their things, and it's important to stay present and focus and calm and kindly decline if you are not comfortable with it. Always bring cash with you because most of the shops and food stops, they will only accept cash or card, but with a little fee. But just bring cash to be sure. That's my 4 days in Sapa. If you enjoy this kind of content, good for you, good for me. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe or like because honestly, I don't even know if I'll keep doing this or this is even helpful. I just love to travel. I just love taking videos and photos, and I am only learning how to share them with someone or anyone. I still cringe to my voice, and editing all of this, it's a lot of work, and maybe I'm still figuring out, who knows. So if this ends up my last video, thank you for watching until the very end. And if you ever go to Sapa, promise yourself you'll enjoy every bit of it. And please comment down below if this video helped you in any way. That would mean so much to me. I'll read them, all 3 of them. Have a nice day. Love, Bill.